go straight into what we have to do tonight. And if there was any season that should be important to you right now, is this season where you are in the goal setting class. Again, I'm not going to play the ignorance game and assume that this goal setting class is going to impress everybody for the first time, right? There are even people on this call who are coaches who probably has also taught goal setting. But what are we here to do? We're here to exchange our thoughts, along the lines of the things that have worked in the past, especially proven, tested, scientifically recorded, and even with statistics to back it up, plus the experience of what we have seen from the past coaching clients that I've taken, and also personally as I've also applied them. There are many ways and approaches to approach goal setting. If I was going to VI in the morning, I could pass through Ozubam Badiwe. I could go through a hotel roundabout. I could go through, apologies for those who don't live in Nigeria. These are routes to Victoria Island. I could also go through Falomo Bridge, through Akandishola, and I will be in Victoria Island. So what that means is achieving your goal is the ultimate. The routes there and the steps and the approaches might be differently described by different coaches because you may have read a lot of things. So in my coaching class, I limit my approach to 3 distinct models, and they have been proven and tested. By the time we start and conclude, you will notice that whatever is essential that you need to pick in the aspect of setting, resetting, and achieving your goal will have been covered substantially. So what I've done, or what I do usually, is to create a system of clarity for you. Let's say myself and yourself are in a private or personal one-on-one coaching session, and you have said, Coach, I have an issue. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. I keep failing, or I have tested this, that's not happened. I wrote a professional exam for 14 years. In fact, I'll drop the video in the group. It's just 3 minutes. It's not a lot of story. Just 3 minutes, right? And I wrote it for 14 years when I could have written it for maybe 1 or 2 diets and I'll be done. But somebody is in here, is in there, is in there. It's actually the sickness of the very intelligent people. Because they think they know, then we gather a lot of things and assume that our capacity has power to achieve all of them at the same time. That is not a problem really, but the only challenge is you spread yourself so thin that measuring milestones and achieving success will be difficult, because then you want to take 10, 15 things at the same time, and there's no way you would be able to spread your time. You only have 24 hours, only 24 hours. So in terms of clarity, these are the parameters that I would encourage you to adopt. Clarity should tell you exactly where you are going. And when we're talking about clarity, it means that you know the destination so clearly enough that there's no confusion as to what it is. Most of the time, people will say smart. Some people will say smarter. Some people will use all kinds of acronyms. But for simplicity's sake, we'll say for you to achieve clarity, ensure that your goals are specific. And I'll use an example. I want to lose weight is not a specific goal, because then you haven't taken a position analysis from where you are and where you expect to be. So specific means that you can measure it, you can describe it. Somebody who was not part of the system, if the person came and met you on the way, can agree that you know where you're going. So I weigh 60 kg right now. My goal is to weigh 42 kg. That's specific. Measurable means that I can, the way I have said 42 kg is to say at the end of, what's it called? Maybe by the end of 6 months, I will be losing X amounts of kg. If I was writing a professional exam, or I wanted to go in for my MBA or PhD or any kind of example, and I've so described where I'm going, it should be measurable in that if they stop me in the middle of the journey, somebody should know that I left where I started and I'm somewhere here. That's how measurable it should be. So trying to do something that you cannot measure discourages you, demotivates you, doesn't even help you know that you're taking steps at all. And in that way, you can stop in the middle and not have encouragement to continue. Achievable is A. S specific, M measurable, A achievable. Achievable means it's in your control. It's not a goal that relies on someone else's performance. Because if that person does not perform, then you cannot defend the reason why you can't achieve the goal. Let me say, somebody say, my goal is to become pregnant. That's not an achievable goal. Sorry to insult anybody's sensibilities. This is not. Because pregnancy actually is not in your control. What can be similar to that is to say that you will monitor your ovulation. That's in your control. You will decide the period of mating. That's in your control. You will ensure that you test regularly. That's in your control. You will ensure that you keep fit, or that you stay on the diet that have been prescribed, or you are using your fertility drugs. That's in your control. But the day you want to get pregnant is not absolutely your control, because it will take the relationship between two people, willingness between two people. It will take certain parameters that are, I mean, by miracle it can happen, but it's not a goal. So what's a goal in that direction will be that you will classify what it is that is absolutely in your own control, which you have identified. More or less like what I said in terms of you'll be monitoring your ovulation, or you will make yourself available when you're supposed to be available. But that's suddenly you want to come and set one goal that at the end of, for example, at the end of general election in Nigeria, this person will win. I mean, it's not in your control. A lot of people have to vote for somebody to win, right? So that's not achievable. So what's achievable is something you can control. You want to write your PhD, yes. At the end of what year? 4, 5 years time, and you will be taking intentional steps. What is achievable, you know it. You will apply to his school. You can do this, you can do that. You pay the school fees. Those things are in your control to the extent that every of your step that you're taking can be duly rewarded, and it's moving you closer to that goal. Measure, what's it called? Time bound is that frame, that tenor that gives you an idea of when you conclude what you started. So if I want to have my PhD by the year 2027 or 2028, that's the time bound there. And what it does is to create a system of accountability for you to know that these are the milestones I am going to cover. And by the time I get here, I'm 50% true, I'm 70% true. And then when you measure, you know that if at the end of 1 year, you have not covered 25% of the steps involved, you have not covered it. You may have to double up. So for clarity to happen, ensure that you know exactly what you are setting. I've seen a lot of examples of goals that people will just set. You know, if you pass it through the lens of this very simple framework, it fails completely. So that's clarity. And for you to get clarity, you need to ensure that you have gotten to the roots of the roots of the roots of the roots of the root of your issues. What am I saying by that? Now, in some of my coaching courses or classes, some people will say, my goal is to expand my business. And I say, sorry, that is not a goal. What does expand your business mean? So you may have to ask the next question to the next question to the next questions before you can get to the root of your clarity. It is not difficult. It's just for you to have time to be able to do it. So if you want to expand my business, it is not a problem, but it's an umbrella statement. In expanding your business, what does it mean? Do a position analysis. I've said it's the first thing. When you do a position analysis, where am I? What do I have? What do I own? What am I doing right now? Okay, good. That's position analysis. Then you do a destination analysis. A destination analysis is where am I going? When I get there, how will I recognize it? Exactly how should I be feeling, or how should it be looking? So you set out to build a bungalow or a duplex, right? Your position analysis that you have a bare land that you have not cleared. Your destination, and then you will say the things that are available to you. You have a bulldozer, you have a bricklayer, you just check. Your destination analysis say, how will the elevation of this house look like? When we are done with the house, how many rooms? All en suite. How many sitting rooms? Are we going to have an ante room? How large will the kitchen be? How will this be? And that's why people employ professionals to do the drawings of the buildings they want, because it set them on the right trajectory to be able to achieve a particular goal, so that everyone that is working on that project, the architect, the quantity surveyor, everybody who has to do something with that project, have exact precision and accurate discernment of the journey that they are undertaking. We are still talking about clarity. So to achieve clarity, I repeat, one, position analysis. Second, destination analysis. So when it is so clear, absolutely clear where you're going, and some people, their goals might not be material, it might be behavioral. Perhaps you think that you want to set relationship goals and you're saying, how come I don't retain friends for so long? You have to continue to probe until you know exactly what to change, right? So when you want to probe, you have to do two things. Identify your pain or identify your pleasure. I have said three things. One, position analysis. Two, destination analysis. Three, check your pain or your pleasure. These are all ways to get clarity to your goal, right? What do I mean by pain? Pain means the thing that is actually worrying you. You don't feel happy or settled about. So instead of taking 40 things or resolutions and calling it goals, that's not going to help, because then you have not taken time to decipher the real issue that is confronting you. Your pain in the sense that if you were falling sick, your goal is not really, oh, I just want to be well. That's not all that it is. What is causing the sickness? I don't eat balanced diet. Why am I not eating balanced diet? I don't earn enough to purchase fruits and veggies. Why are you not earning enough? Transportation takes a lot of cost from me. Okay, are there alternatives to commuting to work to reduce your transportation cost to half? You will find out. So you will get to a point where you will tell yourself that my goal is to reduce my cost to earnings. What do I mean by that? I earn 1,000 naira. I spend 950 naira. So I only have 5% retention. So your goal would be, I want to make sure that I do everything possible to bring down that cost to 500 so that I have the extra 500 to answer the other questions in my life that are disturbing me. Now, your goal might not be financial, might be behavioral, in that you probably have high turnover at work, a business owner, or you have relationship issues with people and you think you wish that your relationship can be better managed. So you go to the root of the root. Why am I not keeping my relationships? They always walk away. Why do they walk away? We don't get along. Why are they not getting along? I shout too much. In case you don't know, you may have to get a coach to help you, because sometimes you see what is in front of you. Right there, the things behind you, they are not clear to you. And a lot of time you are oblivious of the things to your side as well. They call it blind spot. So you might get someone who you are trusted, or a coach who has no special or personal interest. They can tell you, one of my coaching clients spoke to me one time. We're discussing relationships. She wanted people to be able to help her. Then I said, so why don't you have people to help you? You can either pray or play, or you pay. You can either pay for the services of people who should do work for you. You can pray some destiny helpers into your life, and you can play with some people, become more sociable so that they come into your space and then they can work with you. On further inquiries, after she took my personality test, we discovered what the real issues really are. For confidentiality's sake, I will not call our real issue. I'll just call another thing. Let's say that thing is, let's just say it is, because I don't want to use the thing that was the issue. Let's say I'm struggling now to find another thing to replace what happened really. Let's just say it's emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a big word, right? But I'll just use it that way. Let's say you are easily irritable. That's not what happened, but that's not what we're saying. And if you're easily irritable, it will be difficult for people to come closer, because then they don't want to offend you. Out of respect, they can stay apart from you. So we decided to work on that behavioral change in a private coaching arrangement. And so far, what I've measured, she herself had been completely turned around, because the first thing is to become conscious of what the issue is. Immediately it comes to your awareness, because you didn't know before, so you act in certain ways. Now, once you get to know the root of the issue, you have almost solved the problem. And so we started working on it. We have coaching toolkits, we have different questions, we have different meetings and clarification sessions where she was able to, and now she's a fulfilled and happy person. And then she's still on the journey. Now, somebody else will say the root of my problem is the fact that my income is too low. You are not broke because your employer is not paying enough. Your employer may be able to pay what they can afford to pay you, especially if you have a letter of engagement that says this is your pay. Maybe what you have to do extra is to look at your 24 hours and confirm if you have extra time that you can monetize. You want to do coaching at night, lesson for primary school, secondary school, whatever resonates with your value. That's clarity. So for you to really get clarity and to be able to prioritize your goals, which means you have written 10, 15 things, you have to look for one principal goal and the rest to be a subsidiary goal. It is not a law, but it's just effective. Because once you put your energy in solving that problem, the other things surrounding the goals will self-adjust. They will self-adjust. So if your goal is, I want to earn more, because you can earn more, you now have financial freedom. You now have ability to buy books, to read, to develop your mind. You now have ability to take on some courses online. You have ability to do your masters. You have ability to go somewhere. You have ability to improve your socialization quotient because you have money to spend, to eat out, and then to meet a couple of friends. So you have to sit down and ensure that you have done a position analysis and tell yourself, by the time I have used goal setting effectively, where is my destination? Very clearly. In between, you have to find what your pain really is. What is paining you? What's causing your life to be in disorder? What is that thing that you don't even think about it? They say write only one prayer point. That's the thing you are going to write. That's how your goal setting can be very effective, especially to drive growth, development, progress, and a fulfilled life. So Jesus says, I've come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. The purpose of abundant life is that you have what is satisfactory to you, and the outflow of that life, that fulfillment, that joy, that smile, that happiness, that accomplishment is that other people around you also see, such that Gentiles come to your light and their kings to the brightness of your rising. They say, come and tell us what happened, so that your countenance has changed. You no longer walk with your heads bowed because now you are fulfilled, you are happy. You may not have everything, but you know the path to take. You understand where you're going. It's clear to you. And on a daily basis, every step you take is aligning with that description, with the place that you are going. And that's how to live life. Otherwise, don't know where you are going, everywhere will look like it. If you understood clarity from a point of pain, now let me go to the point of pleasure. The point of pleasure is, what is that applause, accolades, clap that you are looking forward to? For example, you're looking forward to traveling abroad, or you want to visit 4 or 5 countries in a year. Nothing is wrong with it. There's no goal that is not valid. It is what will satisfy you, what you call abundant life. And then you sit down and say, how much do I have? How much does it cost to take flight to this country? Do I require a visa? You sit down, you check. And that's why at the beginning of this course, we encourage everyone to have a jotter, so that as the thoughts come to you, let me now be clear to you, you will keep fine-tuning it until it becomes perfect. So as it comes to you, you write it down, you write it down, you write it down. So that's how to do pleasure. So let the picture of where you're going, the journey you are taking, let it delight you. Let it motivate you. Let it bring smile to your face. Sit down with yourself. Get to a point where, the truth is, a lot of us talk to many people. You talk to your lecturer. You talk to your teacher, your Sunday school teacher, your pastor, your friend, your cousin, your spouse. How many hours in 24 hours do you have with you? You're your first constituency. Other people are busy. They're not thinking of you. And if you're not thinking about yourself, you are shortchanging yourself and you are deceiving yourself. Elon Musk, all the names that we know, they have 24 hours only. But we know them with one particular achievement or the other. The same thing Jeff Bezos, the same thing Bill Gates, the same thing, all those big things that we are shouting. We have a lot of names that we have mentioned, that when they ask you about it, you say, this person. The person is not your neighbor. What you know about the person is the accomplishment. So when you set a goal for a certain degree or a goal to acquire a building, or a goal to purchase a car. Your lifestyle, your spending will align with it because the picture is clear. So it will be self-deception to set a goal that is out of your control, or to set a goal that you will not be committed to. If you got clarity, type yes in the chat box before we move to alignment. Does anybody understand clarity? All right, great. I can see only one yes. Only two. All right, three. Only three people are in the class. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, thank you. Thank you. So, your goal is to get promotion at work. It's not a clear goal. In fact, let me now ask people to be dropping a few examples so that we can be correcting it now. To get promotion at work is not a goal that you can set. It's an expectation. It's a prophecy and it's a prayer point. They are not the same. Your goal is to be your best to the point that you cannot be ignored for promotion, right? Because promotion will come because you and your boss or anybody who is responsible has agreed that you deserve the next level. So your goal really is to design a system where you are more efficient with time. You deliver before the deadline. Your work has very few mistakes and you put yourself forward. So one of your goals can be you want to be more visible, both in action and in words, which means they are giving you a task, you are done with it, and you put your voice behind it. So you have to tell yourself that every time you are given a task, you will pay attention to correct it before submitting it. The few steps you will take will be that I will invest in my mind so much that when I'm giving something, excuse me, and it's not something that I really am comfortable with, I'll get on YouTube, I'll get on senior friends, colleagues outside of my work, and ask for clarity. So those ones are in your control. And by the time you get to a point where you cannot be ignored, so not just my work will speak for me. The taste of the pudding is in the eating. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. You have done the work. Your goal now is to say, I will do a good job and I will promote the work and I will make sure that the right people who should be visible, who I should be visible to, that will be responsible for my next level are seeing it. Because a lot of you do a lot of work, but other people take the credit. Okay? So to say you will get promotion is not entirely in your control. You have a process. So take that portion of your own path and do it so well to the extent that it will be difficult. In fact, by the time they are doing the promotion meeting, one person will say, yes, I've observed that girl is so smart. Even people in other departments will tell you that, I'm aware. So that's what it is. Oh, I'm trying to check again. Goal setting is not wishing. Yes, thank you for Lucio. It's not. It's not even New Year resolution. It's not even limited to 1 year. Right? I just talk about PhD. So if you are setting a goal for every year, I want to set a goal for 2023, 2024. But when you are done with achieving that goal, where does the next goal lead you? Where does the next goal lead you? So most times the best way, or the way I have thought before, is to set a milestone, either your next milestone birthday. If I were 25, I can say at 30, I want to own my own business. So that on a day-by-day basis, in the choices I'm making, in the moves I'm making, the friends I'm taking into my system, the location I'm found, the books I'm reading, the parties I'm going, I'm connecting with people who will link me to that ultimately. And then you cascade the code. Okay, I'm 25 now, position analysis. By the time I'm destination analysis, I want to own my business. I want to be a real estate agent or market. Okay, what does it take? So you begin to move down. Okay, now I'm still an entrepreneur. I'm still an intrapreneur, sorry. Okay, let me resign from a beverage company and go to a real estate company. So I start to gather information about what they are doing. After 2 years, I'll write this particular exam in buildings technology. I don't know, or I go on Coursera. So you begin to take that steps. It's leading you to an ultimate destination. And then you can always reset it along the way when you see that there's distraction that is moving you. Or artificial intelligence came on board, technology came on board, different things have happened. You can always reset it because there's a destination in mind. Another way that we do it, other than maybe I'm 40 now, and I've already clocked 40, and I say, okay, by my 50th birthday, I must have been a doctor, PhD holder. I must have been this. I must have been that. I must have been 2 houses. So there's something wrong. Even if you call it fantasy, you will be shocked that the entire universe will conspire to bring resources, people your way, because your destination is clear. Even when you are praying and fasting, your prayer and fasting are hitting the right target because the picture is clear. And that's why you see people saying vision board, vision board. There's an art and a science to vision boarding. Part one of it, which is the art, is to put the pictures where you can see. The science of it is to sit down and begin to take intentional steps, break it into pieces, form habits and routines that support that goal finally. So that is clarity. And if you're not using your birthday, you can set 5-year goals, 10-year goals, 20. You can use concrete number of years. So it will not help you if every time you remember goal setting is the 1st of January or jingle bells, Christmas Day. No, it doesn't work that way. Let it be that you have something in front of you beyond 1 year, beyond 2 years, depending on where you're going. And you make sure that you're breaking it down to the point where what will happen this year to make sure I'm nearer to the goal. What will happen in 6 months, what will happen in 3 months, and on a daily basis, every 2 hours, I will dedicate it to a particular course on YouTube. I want to be a GSM technology expert. I will make sure I'm learning about each phone. The month of January, I must learn about Samsung. The month of February, I must learn about Apple. Do you see what I mean? So setting 1 year goal is good, but it's better to also have a long-range goal so that I have something I'm moving towards. Then someone will ask me, is that not being rigid? Once you set it now and something else happens, won't you change? Yes, you have to change. There's nothing that says once you set the goal, you can't move. No, you can go back, reset. Your goal book is supposed to be your living document. Every day you look at it, and because of the new knowledge you have received, or new technology, or new events in the world, go back and edit it to something that is realistic. A lot of people have dropped some comments here. Use cars. Be clear about where you are going. Let all goals be aligned, yes, and be accountable. Correct. Thank you. Next. Clarity well explained. Thank you, Amos. Omodola, so if my goal is to get promotion at work, is that a clear goal? It's an ambition. On about promotion, how does one measure his or her improvement or growth? You will know. If they used to return your reports and the returning has reduced, if they used to correct your reports with, for example, I use Red Barrel at work, and I see when my staff are really growing, because there's some of them that almost every page you see a Red Barrel marks. After some time, I discovered that I look, there's nothing to correct, not even grammar, not past tense anymore. And the structure and the syntax and the way they lay the point and the flow has become different. I had to put my foot down that this person must move to the next level, because the person has outperformed the current level. So there will be indices to measure. Just look at what are the things you know that have been reported to you that require you to grow. For instance, maybe you used to take salary advance to do some things. Maybe your goals are financial goals. And then you realize that you don't need salary advance anymore. You've been able to moderate your expenses to a manageable size. That's the expectation. And then you can see that you're moving. On about promotion, how does one measure your improvement or growth? You will measure, but you know where you were before. Now you now do things with less time. Your efficiency has increased. Hilda Mayo Dixie, it must add up year on year. Yes. Review and Coach HFD, thank you. Review and update your goals. Correct. Goals are not static. Absolutely. They are not. In fact, if your goals are static, there's a problem because the world is not static. Everything is changing. So people are going to Mars. They said they want to go and create an habitable something there now. People are moving up and down. Things are changing. Artificial intelligence is coming in. A lot of things are changing. But what's important is start out from somewhere. Say, come out and go to a land that I will show you. If you sit where you were, you will not see progress. But start moving. Along the line, a lot of things will get clearer. In fact, as you begin to read books, you realize that your understanding will start opening up. You now discover more practical ways to even design the goal again. Set and reset it, set and reset it. And that's why we said it's not a New Year thing. It's not a February 14th thing. It's not my next birthday thing. It can be, but there are bigger things that goal setting will do for you. So good. Are we set for alignment? Type 1. How many people are set for the next? We are spoken on clarity. We're talking about alignment right now. Who is set? Okay, only one person. Coach HMG. How are you doing? Oh, 3 people. 3 people only out of 29. Wow. Okay, now I have 5. Great. 6. So alignment. Basically, there are 2 types of alignment. I mean, broadly speaking. Internal alignment and external alignment. It's a great thing to have clarity on your goal, to have clarity and destination understanding of your goal. But it's even greater to have alignment, because it will amount to self-deception if your goals are not aligned. Number 1, you have to consider the resources that you have before you begin to set goals that move in different directions. If you live in Lagos and one of your goals will take you to Lekki, the northward side of wherever you are, and the second goal will what's it called? Will have you to move to Ibadan the same day. You and I know that the directions are so different. So a time will come that you'll be wondering, should I move to the right or move to the left? And that's why, for simplicity and so that you are not demotivated, find a very strong overriding goal, something that if you achieve it, you will be happy with yourself, something that will put you in the face of many people. As in, your goal is not for people to see you actually, but the destination of your goal, the fulfillment of your goal should compel people to see you. You are not working your goal to impress people, but when you are done, people should see you. What do I mean by that? A city set on a hill does not need to shout, but it cannot be hidden. You are passing, you must see the city set on a hill. And when you are commanded to let your light so shine before the world, actually, they're not saying go and do advertisement and be calling to come and see. It will be so impressive a result, because it will be solving problems. It will not just be for you, it will also assist others. And that's why I said abundant life means you have enough and more than enough, such that even your neighborhood, people that meet you, they appreciate the fact that they have come in contact with you. So your goal will solve problems. Your goal will help people. Your goal will help you as well. So people must be compared to see it. For instance, one of those applauses, maybe you now become Dr. Olubunmi Abato. That woman, she's a doctor now. Hey, you didn't tell the doctor for anybody, but hey, you get what I mean? Someone passed through there. What happened? Who is the owner? You don't know them. Tosin Kachuku. That's their new factory. Are you sure? This company used to be there. They bought it. From that place to that place, they even took all the adjoining properties beside. What happened? You are not the one advertising, but the goal must make sound. There's no way. The goal must make sound, and that's your destiny. The wind blow everywhere it listed, and you hear the sound thereof. Sometimes it's not the wind shouting, I'm here. There must be a sound accompanying the wind. So when you are moving with force. So such goals sometimes are even the things that announce themselves. Somebody hears who told somebody, and I knew the guy, you. In fact, we used to live in somebody, really? Maybe your goal is to be more visible. Maybe you're a speaker and somehow you are found on CNCBC, you're found on CNN. I know that movement. We were working together in MTN. You are not the one telling anybody, but it will take you somewhere. If you get what I mean. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. It may not be the city blowing trumpet, but it must be seen. And say, let your light so shine. As in, you don't have a choice. You cannot be shining below your parameters for shining, because it's been so designed. So shine that they may see. So they have to see. Right? You may not be carrying your shoulder and be bugging you up and down. No, but they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. That's how God is glorified. God didn't make nonsense, and he didn't make nobody. Right? If you say, let's make in our image, the image means the image of visibility, pleasure, problem solving, beauty, color, right? That's the image of God. Or what kind of image of God do you see? Do you see somebody crawling, begging to eat, sick, ashamed? You're timid, cannot even face people to talk. Is that the image of God you see? So that's what your goal should do. Your goal should bring you out with confidence. Your appreciation is to God, right? But you will work on yourself to the extent that you get to your destination. And your destination is attractive and colorful. And that's why people sing a colorful and it's bright. I must get there. My future is bright. I must get there. So goal setting is about the future. It's about the future. You are setting a goal in the future. You say, I'm going here. So it's a colorful and a bright future. So having said that, two types of alignment: internal alignment, external alignment. External alignment means we are setting a goal that is not out of order. If I'm setting a goal that I will be buying or selling or have a factory to build a particular item or product that the government has banned, it's not externally aligning. It's not going to come to pass. Or I'm building a goal that is against the technology that is now in the world. So you have to ensure that each time you are using your goal, you are looking at what's happening. It's called environmental scanning. You are checking around to be sure that the thing you are setting is really resonating and is something achievable in the world and in the present circumstance that you have found yourself. Internal alignment means your skills, your mindset, your level of knowledge, everything that you are setting. It means you are equipped enough to achieve the goal. If I was a medical practitioner or I was a nurse and I want to veer into public relations or something else, or I want to become a trader, I want to go into real estate, I want to go into any kind of business, I can set the goal, nothing is wrong, and everything will be clear. But the alignments will come in that I have equipped myself enough to get to the goal before I got there. That means I'll read books on that thing so that I'm equipped with knowledge and skill. So when I sit in the company of people who are discussing it, I can also ask some questions. I am aligning in the sense that my mindset has been so adjusted. You want to be a doctor, you're afraid of blood. It's a joke. So you need to have the right mindset. You invest in your mind through books, seminars, relationships, friendships, people that are surrounding you. There are people who are going on the same journey with you. So that when you are not strong or you're afraid, you can say, you can do it, girl. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So your mind will have to get to that goal before your whole body or your physical hands get there. That's what alignment means internally. So please set a goal that you will be ready to invest in your mind for, your mindset, your skill. You must develop the kind of skill, the kind of composure, character, temperament that will take you to that goal. If you are going to read law, you have a lot of books to consult. Don't say, I don't like reading text, I just like mathematics. Then you better go to statistics because you are not aligned. Alignment also comes in the congruence and the relationship between the goals that you are setting. So if the same year you want to become a deaconess in church or a chief imam in the mosque, it's the same year you want to pursue a master's, the same year you want to raise a young family, it's the same year you want to run for political office and you only have 24 hours, it's not aligning. All of them are going in different directions. So at the end of the day, you will not really be able to hit it straight. That's alignment. Ensure that sometimes even if you're confused or you're not sure, sit with your accountability partner, provided they're even experienced, to say that, madam, see, phase one. Once you achieve that, we'll move to the next. Once you achieve that, you move to the next. So that's a proper alignment. I'm done with alignment. Internal alignment and external alignment. Number 3, execution. Execution speaks about how you pursue the goal and how motivated you are on the way to pursuing the goal. That's something that helps you craft a goal that helps you. When you are done with creating clarity, then form a goal statement. A goal statement is, I am walking away from low level of income so that I can afford either to build a house or to take a second degree or to give my children a more reliable education or to support my family or to raise a business. So you always have a magic conjunction called so that. What that does is that it gives you enough motivation to pursue the goal. So when you are done with your goal setting, craft a goal statement and say, I am working out of short-fused or anger. If you are really angry all the time and you have discovered that the reason you don't have friends is anger. Like I said, some people's goal might be behavioral in nature. You have discovered something you want to correct in your life so that I can live a fulfilled life, accommodate more meaningful relationships, and expand my network. We know that our network is our net worth. So you craft it that way and create enough motivation. Part 1. Part 2, you will get an accountability partner. The role of your accountability partner is to help you to stay online, because life will happen, things will happen, policies may change, you may move house, you may suddenly have a child, you may be promoted to work and you have a large volume of something to handle. Anything can change around you, so that those kind of seasons of pressure do not drift you too far away from your goal. You need someone who can be checking on you. It doesn't have to be anybody more senior. Sometimes even younger people can help you do accountability. Even your children can do accountability for you. As long as they keep coming and reminding you, Auntie me, ACCA Inko, are you not writing again? Just because I don't want that question, I have to go back to my book until I finished it. So we've seen people who are younger that even help those who are more senior. And if your own is easier with somebody who is more senior, especially maybe the person even has more experience or has gone there before, you have to make sure that you carry that person along. The only thing is that sometimes, if you use family members and they like you too much, they don't want you to be stressed. So you hear things like, you have even tried. How many people have done what you have done? Slow down. That's a challenge. They will be so much in love with you that, can't you see that you're just been promoted at work? Face that one, no. Better leave this go. You don't have somebody who can be, reminding you that way. Leave family and friends alone. They can be too merciful on you, right? So depending on the goal you are setting, we encourage, use an independent person, use your coach, use your mentor who will not be doing high for you and be saying, sorry, you're even trying. You want to achieve your goal, and you need someone who will say, why did you stop? No, they didn't approve what? Apply again. You apply. They have not approved my proposal for my thesis, something. Do it again. So because of that help on that other side, it helps you to keep the motivation going. Number 3, build resilience into your goal. Number 1, I spoke of the magic conjunction, so that's how you execute. Craft a goal statement that will be so clear in your mind that the goal itself motivates you to want to achieve it. You find compelling reasons to achieve the goal. Number 2, get accountability partner, which is even when you're not really in the mood, the person can remind you. And then quarterly or 90 days, you can review, where are you on this, where are you on that? Because somebody is going to ask, you will focus on it. Sometimes if you want to put yourself under pressure, you can say, if I have not achieved this by the next quarter, I will pay you 5,000 naira. When you attach something that will pay you and you don't want to pay that person the money, immediately you will set your goal properly and be pursuing it. It's so that you can be supported properly. You have to put yourself under reward and put yourself under risk, so that you don't want to enter any one chance. You want to be serious with your goal. The third thing I mentioned for you to execute properly is what? I want to know how many people were listening. I've spoken about magic conjunction and goal statements, and I've spoken about accountability partner. What was the third thing I mentioned? Nobody's there. What was the third thing I said will help you with your execution? No, we said 3 things to help your goal to achieve effectiveness. The penalty is part of the accountability. Okay, I'm still checking. The first thing is clarity. Goal statement is number 1, yes. So that's not so what? That's the magic conjunction that you put in your goal statement. Resilience. Producer, thank you. In fact, you have won an award. I'm going to announce it in the group, Olusho Bashoro. I'm going to announce your award. Yes. I will make sure I'm going to let you know what you have won. In fact, let me note it now. Olusho. Resilience. I said it. The third thing you build into your execution is resilience, because things will move. And the way we talk about resilience is that creates a system of multiple approaches. Same destination, but you can go through Obalende, you can go through Falomo, you can go through somewhere else. I said it. I said resilience. That for your goals not to fall flat, you have to be resilience in your goal. So what does that mean? I want to save 1,000 naira by the end of this year. And I've broken it down that I will save 20 naira, like in 50 places. So create a system where if it's not 20 naira and it's 10 naira, then you can do it 100 times, so that you have one approach, two approach, three approach, which means suddenly you enter the month of March and they said everybody sits at home as it was in 2020. So if you're not physically going out, what other options is available for you to be able to mark the numbers of your sales? You want to go online? You want to collaborate? Or do you want to switch your business product so that you are constantly making sales? If your goals is every month I must be banking this number of revenue. So if you were selling chewing stick before and you can't go out to do chewing stick anymore, you can immediately be selling nose mask. You can immediately be doing what is important is at the end of every month, I must be banking this number of amounts. And that's why your goal must be so clear. So that if it doesn't follow this pattern, sit down. At the beginning, all the options might not be clear to you, but every day as you interact with that goal, you will see other options. That's resilience. Life can hit you in one direction. They can even ban the importation of what you are selling. And you ask yourself, if it's not this product, what else can I do with my talent? What other things can I offer as a complementary service? Maybe you used to sell pieces of furniture. If you no longer have ability to import furniture, can I sell nails, roofing sheets, something related? Is it because I've already built a customer base of 32 people who buy from me? So if you're buying the furniture, you want to immediately sell to them something else, or furniture repair, or the people you have sold to before, can I cross-sell them to start to clean their upholsteries when they are dirty? Or you can ask your customer, are you traveling? I can make tarpaulins to cover your furniture so that it doesn't gather dust. So that's compliment. You begin to think around, what other means can I use if my first identified approach does not work? The fourth thing under execution is interact with your goals daily. Write it down, go back and look at it. If you have to confess, confess on it. If you have to pray, pray. If you have to declare, declare. But ensure that every day the goal is in your consciousness. You either write it on your phone, place it where you see it, move around with it. Let your goal be your friend so that you don't lose touch completely from it. If you lose touch for too long, you will forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind. Any question? We have explored effective ways to achieve your goal. The goal of goal is not to set goal. The goal of goal is to move you forward. Is growth, is achievement, is a better life, is a fulfilled life. So 3 things among many others that we have proven: clarity, alignment, and execution techniques. We've covered all 3. Any question? Who said I got it first? Ify. Okay, let me scroll up and see if I didn't get. Oh, yeah, you're correct. If you are correct. Okay, so if you, I'm going to also give you, I've already announced to Felicia, I'm going to announce your gift in the group. Thank you for calling my attention to it. So who is the first person to ask questions that will collect gift next to? Or who can recap or share our understanding about what we've been discussing? The first person. After that, I'm not giving anybody any gift.
I have a question.
Okay, Alex, proceed.
All right.
Let me write your name down, so that makes 3 people. Okay.
From my own personal experience, I realized that I have this shiny ball. There's this thing called shiny bulb effect. Like I have setting a goal now, so this is what I want to achieve. And along the line, I realized that I just found out that this thing may not be that as profitable as the one I've already set. For instance, I want to learn graphic design. That's my goal. And after some time, I just realized that this graphic design might not really pay off, or may not the advance of AI or things are coming up, it may not longer be relevant. And that's okay. I'll just teach the goal and say, okay, maybe pursue something else. And when I'm still on that one, I'll just like I don't see one to a logical conclusion. Maybe I just have this reason that this thing will work. I say this thing will make sense at the long run, you get. So how do I tend to overcome that?
It shows that from the beginning, your goals were not clear to you. And that's not to say that maybe those goals were not valid, but it's because you've not done position analysis and destination analysis. Graphics design is an act, is an action that should take you to a destination. When you're done with graphics design, what do you want to do with it? What do you want to do? Do you want to build a business around it? What do you want to do? What's the destination of the graphics design? So learning graphics design is very powerful, but it can be a process in achieving a particular ultimate destination. And that's why we encourage that goal setting should not be limited to 6 months, 1 year. Set a target. When I finish learning this graphic design, I want to be #1 print media business consultant. So if it's not graphics design, even if it's not you that is learning the graphics design, you can hire a graphics designer. But there are other things that will be identifiable in the process of becoming a print media mogul or a media consulting, to build a formidable, that's why I say, so that when learning graphic design, so that what? That one is an action step. I don't see it as a goal. Because when you have learned graphic design, where is the specificity? Where is the measurability? Where is the time bound? Where is the achievability? Where is the realistic? So when you pass it through the lens of clarity, it's taking you somewhere, but that destination you have not yet defined, right? So after learning graphics design, what are you supposed to use it for? How does it better your life? That's the destination you must define clearly. Alex, did that solve your problem?
Yes, very well.
So if graphic design now suddenly becomes a commonplace, everybody's now learning, now ask yourself, to get me to this point of becoming household name in this industry, what else can I learn? If I'm not even doing graphic design anymore, I now want to master AI to achieve it. So when AI is coming, it's not a threat to you. It's an enhancer to where you're going. Because then it gives you leverage and you use certain artificial intelligence tools to generate whatever you wanted to do, so that you print your artwork, frame it, and run an exhibition and say, I want to become the master exhibition in the city of Ibadan, on arts and galleries. So that destination has become clear. So the route that you take there, Palomo, Balinde, and all that, you can now vary the routes. Do you see why I say your goal must be clear?
Yes, very well.
Thank you. Any other question? Someone else? Omolola, how are you? Omolola Pale. I hope. How are you doing?
I'm good, Coach. I'm still struggling with promotion, though. I'm still trying to break it down in my head because you have said it's not a goal.
It's an event, not a goal itself. That's the event that happens
so
to you. The reward of intentional steps. So those intentional steps you have to take you to get that reward of promotion is what you should think back on. Promotion is an event, a definite encounter, an experience in the future. But how do you get there? That's the goal you should set. Promotion itself is not the goal. Yes. Who is on the call?
Bumi, Olubumi Abaton.
Ah, madam. Oh yeah, fire.
Yes, ma. What I want to ask is distractions.
Okay.
We have goals and we have distractions. Some of these distractions at times might look like you're learning from it. For example, you have a goal to do something and you come across a novel and you are the type that like reading novel. So you start to read and at the end of the day, it becomes a serious distraction from every other thing we're supposed to do. So it's not like you're learning from it, but at the same time, so there are some sensible distractions and I don't know, but what else can we, I just give that as an example. There are some other distractions. For example, some of us, like me now, I attend to students. So you have some of them coming, you have set out that this is what you want to do. You ask them coming, at the end of the day, you sit down, I realize I've spent an hour or over to counseling, which is not a yardstick for what I'm supposed to do. So, and at times I still get satisfaction in it. So such distractions, what do we do?
You can do a lot of things about distractions. In fact, identifying that there are distractions is a breakthrough because you already know. So you need to understand that distractions are not necessarily uneventful things or things that are bad or in themselves are not good. They are very good, but they compete with your time. So what you're going to do is to set yourself, there's something called the Pomodoro technique. And it's a technique for time management. Pomodoro technique says do something for, I think for 25 minutes, break off like 10 minutes, come back, set time slots for an activity so that you can achieve it. So because we all get easily distracted, I don't see anybody who is not distracted. If I do bow now, everybody turn to that side. We are all distracted because of our 5 physical senses. What we can see, hear, touch, taste, and all that. But where intentionality comes in is where you have an accountability partner. And you know that somebody is going to ask you how far. You know, especially when you put yourself under personally determinable punishment. You are the one that said it. Nobody is giving you a recommendation. Maybe you said, okay, if I have not read my Bible, I am not going to eat. So there's some intentionality like that. If I have not prayed, I'm not going to sleep. You can create a system of reward and punishment for yourself personally. Especially if you want it to be more effective, involve somebody else who will not even have mercy. Imagine you promising me 5,000. If you don't finish a particular assignment or something you said you would do, I'll be so happy. So the pain of that 5,000 will keep you alert. And there's something called the Pareto optimal rule, which is the 80-20 rule, where you do, you use your most active hours or your most 20% of your resource will always achieve for you 80% of your resource. We achieve 80% of your result. Pareto is a wonderful phenomenon. I can teach it in the group. Another thing you can also do is to have your time management frame. It's called Hisowa. How is it pronounced? I'm not going to bite my tongue, but you know that urgent and Eisenhower. Urgent, important, and all those things. Plot everything every day in your 24-hour. Write down, even the night before. What are the things I'm supposed to do? Now bucket it. This one, is it urgent and important? Put it where it belongs. This one is urgent, but it's really not important. I can delegate it. This one is not urgent, it's not important. I don't have to do it. Trash. This one is important, but not urgent. You can plan towards it so that it doesn't become urgent. So you can also use that matrix to plan your time management. And again, you can also do hourly markings to record everything you have done in the last 1 hour. So when you set out to do something in a day and you already said, this is going to be 4 hours, and you said around 8, and this is 2 p.m., which is 6 hours later, and you're not done, you have to retrace and say, what took my time just now? Then you go back. So that's same activity again. So you will do a lot of intentionality. But the one I found most effective, you see that accountability partner, especially when you fashion your own reward and punishment, it helps. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma.
So if you're looking for somebody to pay, just come and meet me. I will help you. All right. Any other question? So we have 7 more minutes to close from here. Any other question?
Okay. All right, a question.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, just want to be clear, because to a large extent, most goals will always tend towards these external factors. So you mentioned promotion being an ambitious thought or act the other time. So one has planned, and then to a large extent, all that relates to exchange rate, for example, government policies, these are things that are outside individuals' control. So I'm just trying to really understand to what extent or percentage will one take some of these plans or goals as, I would say, internal factors and not making them external. So I just want to be clear on trying to strike a balance in between.
Thank you, Amos. If I get your question correctly, it can be captured under alignment, which is internal or external.
Yes.
So external alignments are things that your environment is saying. So you create a system where your goals are in alignment with the external factor. You set out to do a project that you initially calculated at $5.60 to $1 at $1,000. Suddenly, dollar became $7.80. You have to go back and reset or create approaches to achieving it. Maybe you have said you will use 14 things before. You now say, okay, fine. What will make me reset this thing such that I am still within 560,000 naira? The equivalent might be less than 1,000 now that the exchange rate has scattered. So your own role is to keep fine-tuning your goal. And that's why intentionally we keep using the word set and reset, because we don't control the future. And goals are about the future, you see. So, but to live your life to chance, you will never have a chance. So we don't want to leave everything just go in different directions. So we set goals. But in setting goals, they are not rigid, they are not static. You have to consider what your environment is saying, and you also ensure that you are growing internally to a position and a capacity to be able to execute that goal. So if there are interest rates, exchange rates, suddenly because MPR has increased now in the last 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 times, and you had to use credit to finance certain projects and interest rate is jumping up, you have to go back and rework your cash flow and say, okay, the money I'm not going to use in January, I won't collect it. Let me push the disbursement to February so that you have short time in between when you do that. Or you cannot turn your system around and say, okay, let me even go and borrow for family and friends who do not have anything to do with interest rates. So you always have to keep resetting. And that's why we say under execution, you must build resilience into your goal so that when the environment hits you, bow, and it's not in your control, right? You can now say, what other things can I do? And that was when I used the example of you were selling furniture and they now banned furniture that you were importing. You can now go back to your previous customer and say, okay, your furniture is even dirty. I now offer furniture cleaning service because you already have a database of customers. So your goal must be so easy to move that way. So that's why your destination must be clear. So if you are saying you want promotion, maybe your goal actually is to have a 50% increase in salary, and you think promotion is one of the ways that will take you there. Yes. So that destination analysis is that your salary moves from 1,000 naira to 1,500. So if you're not internally promoted, another option is to seek external appointments out of the same organization. If you are not promoted, maybe for certain shock in the environment, they said there's no promotion this year, we can't afford it. In fact, we are downsizing. No problem. Do you have extra time on your hands that you can convert to cash? That's the resilience you're building into the goal and options and alternatives. So promotion is not a goal. Your goal might be to increase your salary or your income. Your goal can be to reduce your expenses. Those ones are in your control. Promotion depends on somebody else. So if your real goal, clearly defined, is to increase your income, promotion is one of the ways, selling things is one of the ways, monetizing your knowledge is one of the ways. You can go into counseling, you can do referral marketing, you can refer somebody to you, give me a commission. So somehow, somewhere, there will be a convergence and you will achieve that goal because you have built resilience and you have created alternatives. Does that answer the question?